stop. If you started your Silverado today and heard a strange noise, don't start it again until you watch this entire video. I'm not kidding. What you do in the next 30 seconds could be the difference between spending $300 or $8,000. And I know this because I lost the Silverado myself by ignoring exactly what I'm about to show you right now.
Look, I'm gonna start by telling you the worst financial decision of my life. 2019. I had a 2005 Silverado, 5.3 engine, flawless, 180,000 miles, but ran like new. Until one Monday morning, when I started it, I heard a noise. You know that feeling when you know something's wrong, but your brain tries to convince you everything's fine? Yeah, I thought, oh, must be just cold oil. It'll go away. It didn't go away. 3 weeks later, I had a completely destroyed engine. $7,800 to rebuild. And the worst part? A mechanic told me that if I had stopped right when I heard the noise, it would have cost less than $400 to fix. That broke me. Not just financially, but knowing that I caused it through pure ignorance, man, it still hurts today. That's why this video exists, so you don't make the same stupid mistake I made.
In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly which noise means you have seconds, not minutes, to shut down your engine. And look, it's not that obvious noise everyone knows about. It's one that 90% of Silverado owners ignore thinking is normal. I'm going to tell you the story of a guy who lost his truck because a mechanic lied to him, and how you can avoid falling into the same trap. And at the end, the 10-second test that'll tell you if your Silverado is in danger right now, even if it seems perfectly normal. But first, if you have a Silverado, an F-150, Ram, any American truck, subscribe to the channel now, because next week's video could save you from an even worse headache than this one. Trust me. All right, let's get to what matters. The noise you should never ignore is a rapid tick, 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 like a toy machine gun. But here's the problem. It sounds harmless. It even sounds like normal mechanical stuff. And that's exactly why it's so dangerous. Let me explain what's happening when you hear this. There's a part inside your engine. I won't get into technical terms because you don't need that, but basically, it's desperately crying for help. It's being crushed, literally ground down every second that passes. And you know what's scary? In the first 30 seconds, it can still be saved. Cheap, fast, simple. But if you keep it running, oh, then the story changes completely. I met a guy in Oklahoma, Travis. He messaged me after watching one of my videos. Too late, unfortunately. He said he heard this noise for 2 months. 2 months! You know what happened? What started as a little $250 problem turned into a $9,400 bill. Because that part that was being crushed, it finally broke. And when it broke, it took 4 other parts with it, which took 6 more. Domino effect. His Silverado had 95,000 miles, practically new. Today, it's in a junkyard in Tulsa. And the worst part of all? His mechanic knew. Travis had taken it to the shop, and the guy said, "Oh, that's normal in old Silverados." Lie. Pure lie. Or incompetence, which is even worse.
Look, I know what you're thinking right now. Could my Silverado be making this noise and I didn't notice? And that's the part that keeps me up at night. Because the truth is, if you drive with the radio on, windows closed, air conditioning at full blast, you could be driving a time bomb right now and not even know it. There was a guy in the comments of my last video who said, "Man, I thought that little noise was just the engine settling in. It's been like that for 3 weeks." 3 weeks! Then he finally took it to a real mechanic. Know how much it cost? $6,200, because it had already damaged things that shouldn't even be involved. He ended the comment saying, I could have bought that jet ski my wife wanted with that money. Yeah, instead of a jet ski, he got debt and a fight at home. Don't be that guy. Now there's a second noise that's even more treacherous, because this one, most owners don't even consider it a real noise. It's like a hiss, like the engine has asthma. Lasts 1, maybe 2 seconds right after starting. Oh, but that happens with every old car, right? No, that's the problem. It's not normal. Never was, never will be. What's happening is something inside the engine is letting escape what should never escape. And you know what happens when that leaks? Wrong pressure, wrong temperature, wrong lubrication. It's like driving with 3 tires properly inflated and 1 flat. At first, you don't even notice, but every mile is silently destroying everything. Listen to this story. My cousin in Montana, Jake, had a 2008 Silverado. He's the type who takes care of things, you know? Changed oil before schedule, washed it every week, kept it in the garage. One day, he heard that psss, thought it was strange, but kept driving. After all, it was just 2 seconds of tiny noise, right? 6 months later, 6 months, he's driving on the highway when suddenly, red light on the dashboard, temperature through the roof, smoke rising from the hood like a factory chimney. Engine seized, completely. Had to tow it to the shop. Total loss. The mechanic opened the engine and showed Jake the damage. He said, "This has been like this for months. Didn't you hear any noise?" Jake remembered that psss, but it was already too late. Repair cost? $11,000 for a Silverado worth $16,000. He ended up selling it for parts. But here comes the good part. The part I wish someone had told me before I ruined my truck. If you hear any of these noises, the tick, 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 or the psh, there's a simple protocol that can save your financial life. First thing, shut off the engine immediately. Don't even think about, I'll just drive around to see if it goes away. It won't go away. It'll only get worse. Second, don't start it again. I know you have to go to work, pick up the kids, go shopping. I get it. But think of it this way. Better to miss a day of work than lose $10,000. Third, call a tow truck. Yes, it'll cost about $100, $150, but it's the best money you'll ever spend in your life. And fourth, take it to a mechanic you trust, not just any shop. It needs to be someone who knows Silverados, because there are a lot of professionals out there who look at it, not know what it is, and guess at the wrong diagnosis. Now pay attention, because this right here is gold. I'm going to teach you the 10-second test that every Silverado should do once a week. Takes 10 seconds, literally, and can prevent a tragedy. Here goes. Tomorrow morning, before starting your Silverado, open the hood. Stand next to the engine. In silence, no radio, nothing. Then you turn the key and close your eyes. Listen carefully in the first 3 seconds. If you hear that tick, 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 shut it off right then. If you hear the psst, shut it off right then. If everything's normal, and by normal I mean just the regular engine rumble, nothing else, then you can go about your day peacefully. But do this once a week, every Sunday morning, for example. Make it routine, because the difference between catching a problem at the beginning or at the end can literally be $10,000. And look, if you're watching this video and thinking, man, my Silverado makes a noise, but I don't know if it's this one, leave it in the comments. Describe the noise. I answer everyone, because I don't want you to go through what I went through. You know what's funny? After I lost my 2005 Silverado, I went 2 years without a truck. Couldn't buy another one because I was still paying off the loss. But in 2021, I finally made it. Bought a used 2009 Silverado. 160,000 miles, and the first thing I did was the 10-second test. Guess what? I heard a little noise,
Small, almost imperceptible, but it was there. This time, I didn't ignore it, didn't even start it again. Called a tow truck, took it straight to a mechanic. Know how much it cost to fix? $380. $380. If I had started it and driven, the mechanic said in 2 weeks it would have turned into a $5,000 to $7,000 disaster, easy. Today, in 2025, that same Silverado has 240,000 miles. 0 problems, runs like a clock. Because I learned. The worst way possible, but I learned. And now, you know too.
So here's the deal. If your Silverado makes any strange noise when starting, you already know what to do. Don't risk it, don't improvise, don't listen to the mechanic friend who says it's normal. Do the 10-second test every week, and at the first strange thing, act fast. Because look, I know $300, $400 hurts. It really does. But you know what hurts more? $10,000. Or worse, losing the truck you love. And before you go, tell me something in the comments. Has your Silverado ever made a strange noise? How did you deal with it? How much did you spend in the end? Because these stories help a lot of people. The more we share, the more Silverado owners we save from going through what I went through. Oh, and if this video helped you, or scared you, which was the goal, hit that like button because YouTube shows it to more people. The more people see it, the more trucks we save. And next week, I'm going to show you the 5 worst mechanics you should avoid when your Silverado has problems. Because there are people who charge $2,000 to do a $300 job. And I'm going to teach you how to identify these leeches. Subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you next week. And remember, your Silverado is like a loyal dog. It warns you when it's in pain. It just depends on you to listen. See you next time.